Welcome back. We continue now. Musical Chairs is a story of how society interacts with social media. And so using the premise of a childhood game, the story blends traditional theatre, physical theatre, and also dance to highlight different parts of the online world that we live in today. So from the power dynamics, the trends, and even just how we find love. This production will be showing at the Theatre on the Square in Sandton. It's happening between the 22nd of January up until the 1st of February 2025. And so this morning, joining us to share a little bit more about the production is writer and choreographer Genesis Shirinza, as well as director Sipho Benjamin Didiza. Good morning to the both of you, and thank you for joining us at this hour.
Morning.
These are not new concepts. They're playing out in everyday life. So what can people really expect from this production, and how's it going to resonate? Who wants to take that question?
How's it going to resonate? Look, we don't have an expectation of what people should take. Okay. There's definitely, as you said, these are things that are happening every single day. So there's an experience for each person who will be sitting there. And when you're watching the show, you'll take home what you're taking home from it. Of course, there's a narrative. There's a bus or a vehicle that we're using to tell the story. But what you take home, what you feel from that, because there isn't dialogue in it, it's a lot of interpretation, right? You see people move, you see people saying something, there's an emotion that is evoked from you, there's an emotion that's given out, there's an emotion evoked. Yes. What was the other question?
Well, let me build up on that, because obviously everyone is different, and so the relationship to social media is also very different, right? Yeah. So I wonder how those complexities are also explored, whether it's a love-hate relationship, right?
Yes. I think what makes this play really interesting is as a consumer, it's exactly how you consume social media. So for some people, it might be the case that, okay, you look at it and you say, oh, how does this relate to me? Or you can look at it and say, oh, this is maybe a play on how everybody else interacts with social media. So for us, in creating this, we actually want people to go in there with no expectation, but rather what does social media give you? Yeah. And then you take that and then you make your own.
So beyond social media, we live in a multifaceted world. So you've got different influences. You've got music, you've got dance, you've got poetry. So beyond art elements, there's politics, there's power. And I mean, I alluded to that in my intro. Hip hop is also infused in it. So talk to us about that expression and how it made its way into the production.
Okay. Well, do you want to
go ahead. I'll pick up from you.
Well, in our background as performers, we come from street dance. So that being hip hop, that being spanzulas, budra, all different street dance styles. Yes. We figured, listen, this is actually the most current thing that happens in what we do. So we said, why not actually take something like that and use it as a trope, because that's what people relate to. We're a country that loves to dance, to perform, to interact. So it's like, why not actually take something like that, bring it to a world that maybe isn't used to seeing something like that on that platform, and say, okay, cool, let's give you an experience of this using stuff that people can relate to.
And the cast is also interesting. So, I mean, there's a few names, Casey Jade van Veek, you've got Ungani, Ndlovu, Evelyn, Mabikwa. Talk to us about how they also came to be part of it and what they're bringing into this production.
So in our journey of making theatre and building the Locksmiths Collective, we have always just chose people that we can commune with. Like, I'm very much about, I don't audition people. So when I build a team, it's like, can I sit with you? Can I break bread with you? So in this situation, Hungani is a close friend of mine, and he came to watch the show, and I was like, cool, let's work together. And with an Evelyn and Casey, everyone else in that cast is a matter of proximity, or someone that I feel like I can work with on a long-term basis. And also just, can I sit with you? Can the space be created where we can all be vulnerable enough to actually be able to bring out our best performances? Because at the end of the day, we're going to spend a lot of time together preparing for the show. So if I feel like we might not connect very well, then I won't work with you. Okay. But yeah, it's always been about, it's the collective, it's building a collective more than a team. It's about building, and coming from the background of a crew, crews were people that you hung out with, they were your friends, right?
Absolutely.
And everyone brings something, and more than just the aspect of friendship, they bring in their own individual skill that we feel could actually help the show.
Yeah. All right, so thank you very much for joining us, for sharing that. Wishing all the best of luck, 22nd of Jan to the 1st of February 2025. Yes. All right, so again, using street dance styles such as Amapiano, as well as hip hop, house, and Campbell locking, Musical Chairs, that production sets itself as a highly relatable piece of social commentary production production, just in conversation with a writer, choreographer. In fact, they wear many hats, Genesis Shirinza, as well as director Sipho Benjamin Didiza.